Okay, let's start with a moment of really uncomfortable honesty.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever sat down with, say, a bag of chips or a big tub of ice cream, and then you blink,
Mm.
and the entire thing is just
Yeah,
gone,
container is empty.
empty?
Mm-hmm.
And you have that split second of just horror where you realize you weren't even that hungry, but you literally could not stop.
Right. And here's the liberating part of that moment.
Uh,
That wasn't a moral failing. It's not about willpower. You were chemically manipulated.
Exactly. And that's what this deep dive is about.
Yep.
We're not counting calories.
Mm-hmm.
We are looking at the deeply cynical intention behind so much cheap industrial food.
It's all about a problem they solved.
Yes. The problem was, how do we get people hooked on what is essentially modified food starch and chemical flavoring?
And the answer is you engineer addiction. These ingredients, this whole toolkit, it's not really there to nourish you. It's designed to hijack your brain's pleasure centers and create a short-lived fix.
A fix that guarantees you'll be back for more.
That's the business model.
Okay, so let's unpack that toolkit, because it all starts with designing food that actively stops your body from feeling full.
Yes, the first law of junk food. You must get rid of the protein.
Why protein specifically?
Because protein is one of your body's main signals for satiation. If there's enough of it, you feel full pretty quickly, you put the bag down, and, game over for the manufacturer.
So by stripping it out, they're basically breaking the off switch.
They've completely dismantled it. You keep eating, searching for a satisfaction signal that the food is physically incapable of providing. It's a nutritional trap.
And while you're on that treadmill, looking for something that isn't there, they hit you with the second part of the attack.
The blood sugar roller coaster.
Yes. So these foods cause this huge blood sugar spike.
Which feels great. For a minute, you get that rush. But what goes up?
Must come crashing down.
And the crash is the key. That's the trap. Because when your blood sugar plummets, your body doesn't care that you just ate a giant muffin an hour ago. It sends out a panic signal.
A panic signal for what?
More sugar right now. It's not real hunger. It's your body trying to stop the free fall. It tricks you into needing a refill.
It's manufacturing need out of thin air. Okay, so that brings us to the real sales pitch. The flavor explosion.
This is where it gets kind of wild. We're not just talking about salt and sugar here.
Wow.
We're talking about a blend of anywhere from 100 to 300 different chemical compounds, just for flavor.
Oh, wait, 100 to 300. Why? That feels like overkill.
It's because simple flavors are boring to the brain. These chemicals aren't just designed to hit your tongue. They're designed to stimulate your brain receptors. It creates what they call a brain explosion of flavors.
I know this feeling. I used to be, and I'm not proud of this, addicted to Doritos.
Ah, a classic.
And you're right, the flavor was this incredible sensory overload, but it didn't last. It vanished. You had to have the next chip and then the next just to chase that first hit.
Exactly. The fix is designed to fade instantly, and all of that chemistry is aimed at one single goal, something food scientists research. Hardcore. Achieving the bliss point.
The bliss point sounds ominous.
It is. It's the perfect, most optimal combination of sweet, salt, and fat. That trio, when it hits that perfect ratio, chemically increases dopamine in your brain. It's a pleasure loop that just overrides everything else.
So no protein stop signal, a blood sugar roller coaster,
Yeah.
a brain-confusing flavor bomb, and the bliss point. Is there anything else?
One last thing, the mouthfeel requirement.
Mouthfeel.
Yeah, the texture, if it's crumbly or dry or just feels bad in your mouth, you'll stop eating. So everything is engineered for zero resistance. How fast it melts, the initial crunch, it's all optimized for mindless, high-speed consumption.
Wow. Okay, so that's the blueprint. But now we have to talk about what these ingredients actually do to you, especially when they're all mixed together.
The toxic synergy. And you have to remember, people eat this stuff daily. The CDC says about 1 in 3 people, so this isn't a one-off hit.
Right, it's chronic. So let's start with a famous villain pairing, trans fats and refined carbs.
Even though trans fats are being phased out, they're still around. And that combination is it's a double-barreled attack on your liver. Both of them demand immediate, stressful processing all at once.
Speaking of liver stress, high-fructose corn syrup, HFCS.
King of the added sweeteners. We know it's rough on the liver, leads to fatty liver insulin resistance, but the real danger is what it comes mixed with.
Which brings us to your deadly trifecta.
Yes, the deadly trifecta. It's HFCS plus alcohol, think sweet cocktails or margaritas plus seed oils from fried food.
So like a big gulp, some fried chicken, and a sugary mixed drink.
The perfect storm. You're hitting the brain, nervous system, heart, and liver with 3 different fires to put out simultaneously. Your body just gets overwhelmed.
Let's zoom in on seed oils for a second.
Yeah.
The argument is always that they aren't inherently bad.
Right. But that completely ignores their entire industrial journey. No one is eating them cold-pressed and raw.
They're heavily processed, right?
With extreme heat, chemical solvents like hexane. They arrive on the shelf already damaged and oxidized. Then we heat them up again to fry things.
So what does that do inside our bodies?
They're unstable. They actually get incorporated into your cell membranes, making them rigid and stiff. A healthy cell membrane should be flexible.
So it gums up the works on a cellular level.
Exactly. And that stiffness messes with things like insulin receptors. It's a direct path to insulin resistance.
You told me about a study.
The one with the mice, yes. They found that soybean oil was more obesogenic. It caused more obesity and more diabetes-inducing than both coconut oil and even pure fructose.
More than pure sugar. That's incredible.
It really reframes what we think of as vegetable oil.
Okay, what about heating up starches? You mentioned something called AGs.
Advanced glycation end products. It sounds like a weapon from a sci-fi movie.
So what are they?
When you heat sugar or starch with protein or fat at high heat, you get that nice browning reaction, the crispy part of a fry, burnt toast.
The delicious part.
The delicious part. But that reaction creates these AGEs. And when you eat them, they cause massive oxidative damage and inflammation all through your body.
So you're literally eating inflammation.
Tiny, inflamed time bombs that damage your arteries, your eyes, your kidneys, your brain. You're basically consuming compounds that accelerate aging.
That is deeply unsettling. All right, let's get into the hidden hooks, the additives. Let's start with sodium nitrate.
You find it in cured meats, bacon, hot dogs. It's mostly there to keep them looking pink and fresh.
But the problem is when you cook it.
The toxicity just skyrockets. When heated, it can form nitrosamines, which are known to cause cancer in animal studies. It goes from a cosmetic to a carcinogen in the frying pan.
And then MSG, the ultimate cheat code.
Monosodium glutamate. It makes low-quality food taste amazing by hitting that savory umami flavor so intensely.
But what's its real job in the addiction machine?
It stimulates hunger. It overstimulates your glutamine receptors, essentially hot-wiring your brain to scream, "Eat more."
That's just so cynical.
It gets worse. Historically, it's been injected into lab rodents to make them obese because it directly affects the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that controls appetite.
Wait, they inject it into rats to make them fat? For experiments?
Yes. That should tell you everything you need to know about what it does.
No kidding. And you know it works because when you have, like, Chinese food without it, it tastes kind of flat. The magic is gone.
The chemical magic, yes. Okay, next up, something that's in our staples, glyphosate.
Roundup. People think GMOs, but it's on regular wheat too, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They spray it on the wheat right before harvest to dry it out so you get that residue.
And the key detail is that it's also patented as
an antibiotic.
Right.
So when you eat it, it's damaging your gut microbiome, which is the foundation of your immune system. And, of course, the WHO classifies it as a probable carcinogen.
Just for harvesting efficiency. Unbelievable. What about drinks? Colas?
They've got phosphoric acid. It's a stimulant, but it also pulls calcium from your bones. If you don't have enough vitamin K2 to direct that calcium, it can end up calcifying your arteries. It's also really corrosive to your kidneys over time.
And one last one. Potassium bromate.
Just another dough conditioner, found in breads. Also a probable carcinogen, usually bundled with a bunch of added sugar. It's just more biological chaos.
So from top to bottom, it's an intentional trap. Confuse the brain, override the body's signals, and then hit it with corrosive inflammatory chemicals.
And the long-term cost is that your brain literally loses its taste for real food. A ripe peach can't compete with 300 chemicals, creating a flavor explosion. The baseline for pleasure gets artificially jacked up.
I know this is true. After years off this stuff, when I try a chip or a processed snack now, it's disgusting. It's sickeningly sweet or greasy. My body finally remembers what real food tastes like.
And that's the goal. Getting back to that biological reality, the value here isn't a magic pill, it's just knowing the system. Recognizing the 3 main pillars, sugar, starch, and seed oils.
It's not about willpower. It's about recognizing the game is rigged.
Understanding the interference is how you regain control.
Which really leaves us with one final thought. If cheat food has to use 300 different chemicals just to trick your brain into wanting one more bite, how much control do you really have over your next meal?